Hey guys, so I'm here today as a part of my second 15-minute Friday series. So I'm just jumping in, chatting to different women with different sort of walks of life and just engaging with them on how, they've come through their health journey, some of the things they've struggled with. And I really just want other women to know that, that they're not alone. There's women going through different hormonal, different gut stuff, and just offer some insight to you. And today I have my friend Alannah on, so super excited to chat to her. And we're just going to go through and see what her health journey was and just some advice she can give other women. So, Lana, how you doing?
I'm good, Sheridan. How you going?
Good. So tell me and the viewers a little bit about you. What are your interests? What do you like doing? What are your hobbies? Where are you? Go for it.
Cool. So I'm 26 years old. I'm currently living in the beautiful Sunshine Coast in Queensland. It's lovely over here. So a bit about myself. I love to partake in yoga. I love going to the beach. Very into eating healthy. I'm currently working in bookkeeping and accounting, which I really enjoy, and also doing some study as well. So yeah, leading a pretty good life.
Yes. Queensland's great for that. So Lana and me actually both WA girls. So we went to school together, which seems like a long time ago, but I guess it probably wasn't that long ago. Down in Albany, which is crazy. And then we have bumped into each other on this side of Australia, which is pretty cool as well. So, Lana, tell me a little bit about your health journey. What things did you struggle with? Some of your symptoms? Give me the short and sweet.
Yeah, sure. So I started on the pill at quite a young age. I think I was about 14. Anyway, a couple of years ago, I started to have some health problems. I had come off the pill about a year earlier, and then I started getting some health problems that I just couldn't seem to fix, no matter how many GPs or specialists I went to. I had so many tests done, and I even went as far as having surgery and quite invasive procedures done to try and figure out what was going on.
How long were you on the pill for?
I was on the pill for about 10 years.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and then I went off the pill, and then probably about a year after I went off the pill, which is quite a long time, but a year after I went off the pill, I started getting a whole range of different health symptoms and problems. And nobody could explain them to me.
Were they different from when you were on the pill? Like, because you had sort of some health stuff when you're on it and then you came off it and then you had different stuff as well?
Yeah. So when I was on the pill, I found like the pill just affected me, I think, like it does with most girls, really hormonal. I didn't feel myself, no libido, dryness, all of that stuff, which is quite normal, I think, for being on the pill. So when I came off it, I felt fantastic for the first year. Like, I found myself, I felt really happy and like hormonally balanced and everything. And then it was probably about a year after that I started getting all of these symptoms that I couldn't understand, and nobody could tell me what was going on. So, for example, like out of the blue, I just didn't get my period for 4 months, and then I started having bladder issues. They thought I had like a UTI, but I didn't. And then I started getting like really debilitating pains, like every day. Internally and externally, and
nothing had changed, like nothing like real like stress or diet, or there was no like significant traumatic event that your body was like, we're in stress now, let's shut down. It just kind of progressed and snowballed.
Yeah, I think so. I think the only thing that I could really pinpoint at the time was that I was drinking a little more than I had previously. So I guess that could have been putting my body under some stress, due to the alcohol in my liver. But apart from that, there was no underlying exact moment. In fact, I could happily say that it was one of the happiest times of my life, actually, that I've experienced so far. So I definitely wasn't stressed or anything like that. So it was really strange for all of this stuff to start occurring. For me, what seemed like no reason at all.
Yeah. So what did you do? So you came off the pill for a year, or you're on it for 10 years, and then you came off it, and then you started getting all these symptoms. And then what was your sort of next step? Did you go, oh, like, is this like post birth control kickback, or what did you do from there?
I actually had no idea, because it was like, you know, a lengthy period of time after being on the pill. I didn't actually link it possibly to being on the pill. What I did was I went to my GP that I was seeing at the time, and she ended up referring, well, she did a lot of tests for me, and then ended up referring me to a gynecologist specialist, who I went and saw and ended up seeing multiple times. From there, the specialist ended up giving me, you know, creams, doing tests, doing quite invasive procedures, to try figure out what was causing all of these issues. And at the end, she just literally threw her hands up in the air and said, I don't know. And so I ended up seeing, after that, I ended up seeing probably close to 5 gynecologist specialists.
That's crazy, because you would have been in your early 20s. You would have been like, young,
healthy, happy, 24. Like, the world should have been my oyster, but I was literally held back by these horrible symptoms, and like they were severely impacting my life, and no specialist or GP or medical professional could tell me what was wrong with me.
No way. It seems crazy, isn't it? Like, these people are trained to do this stuff, and yes, they do an awesome job at, you know, keeping us alive, and I'd never downplay what a GP does, but when it comes to these functional kind of things, like, you know, our period's supposed to be a vital sign. It's supposed to be telling us that, yes, you're okay, you're safe, you can ovulate, and if it's not, yet we're young and healthy, like, what is that saying about our body? And like you said, like, then what? Like, if the professionals don't know, what do you do? Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly. And then so what happened was, after seeing quite a few different GPs and specialists and all that, somebody told me that possibly I might have endometriosis. So they said to me that they wanted to put me back on the pill to see if it made any difference with my symptoms. So I really didn't want to go back on the pill, because I felt so amazing off of it. But I felt really strong, because I thought, well, I can't live with all of these conditions, and all these symptoms. So well, I'll try it, because I feel like I have nowhere else to turn. So I went back on the pill, and funnily enough, the pill was managing my symptoms. So suddenly everyone thought, oh, well, she must have endometriosis. So I stayed on the pill for probably about, it would have been close to a year on the pill, because it was helping me manage my symptoms, but it was making me feel horrible, like as it's done previously. So I made the decision that I was going to go have surgery to see, so it's called a laparoscopy, to determine if I did in fact have endometriosis.
Yeah, that's
and
so invasive. I've heard other women who've had the laparoscopy, and they just said it's such invasive surgery. It's not like, oh, we'll just do a scan and test for endo. If they're saying you've got endo, like, that's a pretty big claim as well. But like you said, like, if that is what it is, then it's worth investigating.
Yeah, 100%. And for me, I was like, I don't want to be on the pill for the rest of my life. So if there is some other, you know, way to treat what these symptoms are, then I'm going to turn and try to do it. So so I did end up having the surgery. It turned out that I only had very mild endometriosis. And when I asked the surgeon if he thought that was the contributing factor to all of my symptoms, he said yes.
The mild
and they told me to stay on the pill for another 3 months to let my body settle down after the surgery. So I did that, and then I went off the pill thinking, yay, like, I'm gonna have my life back. I've let my body heal. Within 2 weeks, I had all of my symptoms back.
No way.
All of them.
It's crazy, isn't it? Here you are, you've gone and done the most investigative thing you can do. You've seen the top surgeons, you've paid the money, you've done the time, you've let them cut you open, and it's like, you know what, actually, you're back to square one. Congratulations. Keep taking our medication and goodbye.
Yeah. And that was the thing, is I at that point I was like, well, what do I do from here? I've seen so many different people. I've tried everything. Like, I can't. By that point, I'd spent close to $20,000 in trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And I was like, well, obviously it's not curable. There's obviously something really wrong with me, and I just have to stay on the pill. And it was a really, really trying time of my life.
Yeah, sure. And as a young female going through that and feeling, well, like, hopeless in a sense. And the fact is, you're blessed and lucky enough to be able to have tried all those things. Like, there's so many women who can't even, who don't have the funds to do that. But the fact is, you've done it and you've tried it and you still got nowhere. It's not like, you know, I'm fortunate enough I could lay out this money and look, now I've got my health. It's like, I've done everything and I've done a complete circle. It's just, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, seriously. It was pretty sad.
So then what? How do you get from that point to where you are today, and what changed in that time?
So after that, I went back on the pill, funnily enough, because I couldn't control my symptoms again. So I felt, well, this is my only option, so I will stay on the pill. So I stayed on the pill, and then I actually ended up stumbling across a book on Instagram, which is hilarious. So the book is called Beyond the Pill by Dr. Joelene Brighton. Sheridan's showing you a copy of it now.
One of our favourites.
So I'm just putting my phone on charge. So I stumbled across that, and I thought, wow, this sounds really interesting. You know, this may help me manage some of my symptoms that I've got on the pill. So I started reading, and I went, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, I was like, I read the book so fast, like so quickly, because all of the information in the book was all of these symptoms that I'd been having, like all of this stuff, and it was all just making sense. And I'm went
goosebumps as you're saying that, but I could imagine you reading it at the time, just being like, give me more. I want to know it all.
I know. And at this point in time, I was ready. Like, my mind was open. Like, I was ready for anything. Like, I was ready to try anything, because I had tried everything. Well, I thought I had. And then I stumbled across this and was like, oh my God, like, I'm going to give this a go. I'm going to follow this program. I'm going to stop taking the pill, which was really scary for me, really frightening, because I can't express enough how debilitating my symptoms were. Like, they weren't just a little bit of pain here and there. They were really severe, and it was extremely stressful, emotionally and physically. So I was like, I'm going to give it a shot, and I started following the book, the program that's in the book. And then I also started seeing a naturopath here on the sunny coast to link in with what the book was saying, so that I had a bit more of a direct advice or that kind of thing as well. And you'll never believe it, I started getting my period for the first time in 2 years. I was off the pill and wasn't having these insane symptoms. Like, it didn't stop straight away, but it's been about 3 months now, and my symptoms have gotten less and less and less. Most of the time I forget that now I forget days where I don't even have any symptoms. And that's huge. That's huge for me.
There's no words for it. To see you now, like, it's hard to imagine what you were like prior to this, because now, you know, you look healthy and fit and glowing and this and that, and you're like, but, you know, take me back a year, take me back a couple of years, and I was struggling through this stuff. And the fact that, you know, you came across a book, you took the plunge, you actually decided again to go off the pill, knowing what you're going to jump into, and gave it a shot, and it paid off. And that's just like crazy. Like, it's so hard to imagine how we're just not exposed to this stuff. Why has not every woman seen this book? Like, why are GPs not handing it out? Why does it take all this time and money and years to get to a naturopath, to get to someone who can, you know, run the testing, to get to someone who knows what you're talking about when you walk in with a book and go, I don't want to be on the pill, or I need to be on the pill, but can you support me because I know it's damaging my body? Like, trying to navigate our way around that as females, I think, is really hard. Like, it's what are my other options, and where do I find information on this, and who do I trust? Because if I can't trust my GP, who do I trust when it comes to it?
Yeah, 100%. And I just feel like, even if you're not on the pill, or you're not ready to come off the pill or anything like that, the information that's in this book that you're just not told when you go on the pill, that you may not be aware of, is pretty mind-blowing. Like, it's just information and knowledge that I wish I had 15 years ago, or, you know, I mean, I'm so glad that I have it now, and I can make my choices now based on that, and you know, have that knowledge. But it's I really just think it's really important to know what you're putting in your body, and you know, actually find out some knowledge, because I know that when I got put on the pill, my doctor never told me about any of this.
Yeah, neither. I was the same. They just said, you know, you're not having your periods, go on it. They told me it'll give you your period. And I was thinking that a bleed is the period, but I, you know, enlightened and know now that it's just withdrawal bleed. But you're right, there's often not a lot of support or advice, or even going, hey, you're going on it, which is fine, and I support that choice, but can you just make sure you take these extra vitamins, or, you know, this probiotic or whatever, to support your gut microbiome, or support your fertility or your health, or the fact that you're not ovulating. So those, I think I lost you. But there you are.
Sorry.
Those kind of things are just so important. So if you had to give, you know, a piece of advice to women out there who are on the pill and are looking for support, or who want to come off, or need some advice, like, what do you wish you were told 15 years ago?
So well, I would recommend this book as a start. I mean, there is other books out there that are very similar, that have probably very similar information, but I think the biggest thing is knowledge is power. Really, especially with the world we're in today, it's very easy to research stuff. Actually dig deep and find out about your body and how your body works as a woman, and also what the pill can do to that, and the detriments of